Welcome to the EShow, presented by the Hockey Podcast Network.
We checked his pulse. He's alive and well. If you're looking to feel like warm and fuzzy inside, like I'm your guy.
And I'm sure you threw me right under the bus.
Yeah.
You're my dog. Woof.
Yeah, goaltending is the toughest position, I think, in all sports.
I think it's announcing.
Neil's dad's a dentist.
You're still pretty nimble at 43. It's not bad.
If I get called 46 years old one more time, I may lose.
What a great lesson in the alphabet.
Dude, you had like butter in your gloves.
That was a bad sneeze.
Often been imitated, never really duplicated.
We're having a good time.
We're having a good time.
And now, here's your host, the commissioner of the Eastern Hockey League, Neil Ravin.
Welcome back to the EShow. Jake, how are we feeling halfway through break?
Chopped. Really tough haircut. They took off way too much. This is the shortest my hair has been, I think, since you've known me.
Yes.
The Nike logo scar is fading, though. So
Okay.
well, for every cloud, there's a silver lining. So whereas up top, where it's a work in progress, this thing is starting to fade here. So I'm the same.
From the neck up, you've had a tough December 2025.
That is true, dude. Yeah, absolutely. Neck down, though, we're putting the work in, but neck up, it's not been great.
You will forever remember December 2025, though. And
Yeah, no,
the
I
showcase
tried.
answering that question 1,000 times.
Oh my god, yeah. I mean, stick to the face, showcase sniffles, chopped unk haircut. It's been a year for sure.
As I mentioned, we're halfway through the winter break, so getting closer towards games resuming, actually picking up this Saturday. We'll get to that later on in what to watch for. But first, we have a unique, special, one-of-a-kind around the EShow segment this week. So without further ado, we'll get to it right now.
Let's take a look at what's going on around the EShow.
We usually start off with the EHL and around the EShow, but we're going to change it up with EHLP. Kind of teased this last week that we had some big things to come and announce for the EHLP. And that starts with the return of the EHLP All-Star Game, which will take place in the, I almost said March Showcase, but it's not March Showcase, Jake. It's the Broad Street Battle. Let's make sure everyone hears that 100 times before we get to March.
Yes. Great name.
But the last time we did this, it was Andrew Blanchard, right, who had a penalty shot goal in that game.
My first year in the league.
It was your first year. I mean, it was an awesome, awesome event for those players. So excited to bring that back as part of the showcase. And for those that are looking ahead and want to put it on their calendar, as you know, Iceworks has 4 sheets. This is a good trivia question for you, Jake. Do you know? There's obviously like the main sheet, like the
that PLF plays on.
Yes. What rink number is that technically in the rink?
3.
He's not on break. He's in mid-season form right now.
Oh yeah, dude. 1 is the one past the snack bar. 2 is the Olympic sheet. 3 is PLF, and 4 is the one in the corner.
Yeah. There you go. So we're putting the EHLP All-Star Game on the main sheet on rank 3, 8 o'clock on technically Saturday night. It's March 6th through 9th. I'm still fighting this sickness. I'm not sure about you.
Wow, man.
I'm
you're
getting
really
there.
good at stifling that. Like that snuck up on you.
Yeah, no, I'm like 95%. It's just like that random cough that will get you every now and then.
Yeah.
But Saturday, March 7th, 8 o'clock, we have a 6 and a 6:20 that end on ranks 1 and 4. So, and then obviously a 6 before the 8 on rank 3. So this is the focal point that Saturday night will be this EHLP All-Star Game. I think you want to name an All-Star right now. You were telling me that before we got on.
Yeah, I mean, there's just Dominic Mouchon, I think. Listen, he's having a slow year, but I think there's a lot more to come from him. Only producing at 2.43 points per game right now. only leads the league by 18 points as an 08. So obviously, I think there's more to see out of him, and I think an All-Star nomination would give him a little bit of confidence that he needs right now to maybe start producing to help his Bears team.
If we've talked about having our own sports book for years, I think he'd be like minus 10,000 to be named an EHLP All-Star.
Great odds, though. I made $130 on Adam Pelech scoring against the New Jersey Devils. Every game I go to, I bet Adam Pelech anytime goal scorer, and he buries for me.
I hate that when I see his name pop up, the only person I can think of is you. And it's like, dude, why does Adam Pelech make me think of Jake? But like, I saw that when he scored the night, and I was like, Jake's happy.
Oh my god! So I paid for my ticket and then some.
I don't know if your return's been as good. Does he really score every time you go?
He has. I go to only 3 games a year now, 2-3 games a year, and I bet it every time, and it's hit 3 times in 4 years.
Does he know that you're in the building?
Yeah, he
must. He feels it.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
Well, while this player doesn't have an 18-point lead in the points race, I will also go out on a complete limb here and say Ryan Doobie will be a part of the EHLP All-Star Game as well. We're really extended ourselves with those 2 names, though, Jake.
I think they're a little bit of shot in the dark. I'm hoping their coaches are willing to take a chance on them. So I think we made some good choices. Carson Lowe could also be in the mix, maybe.
He's probably going to be mad at you that it took 3 names to get to.
Oh, I know. That's purposely why I did it. I know. It was rage bait for me.
But for the EHLP players returning, obviously, from the holiday break, use this as motivation, right? You want to be a part of the EHLP All-Star Game. All of our EHL coaches will be there. Again, it's on rank 3. Everything else is done for the night. So this will be the focal point. If you're the Express, right? I'm not saying we can't take both goalies, but they've both been pretty darn good, right?
Yeah.
So that could be a fun battle to see. If, say, there was only one. Obviously, they're competing for the net in the playoffs, but at the same time, could be a spot in this EHLP All-Star Game.
I mean, think about the Avs goalies too, right? I don't know if any of one of them has run away yet.
Yeah.
They're all damn good.
I agree. So the other fun, unique, one-of-a-kind part of this segment for us is we're going to build a 15-attribute best EHL player we can of the current players in the league, including, call it one factoid from each of the 15 teams, right?
We're going to build the perfect EHL player using a trait, essentially, from one player from each team. Yeah.
So, I'm going to take the crutch and lead this thing off, Jake, for us, because we're going to go, in all random order here. It's not going to be by division or anything like that. It's just whatever comes to mind that we want to say next is gonna be next. And I'm just gonna take the easiest way to start.
Okay, I know where you're going with this.
Yeah, it's the way Ville Bowden shoots the puck, right? I mean, if you're building the perfect EHL player with the current class of players in their league, I mean, I can still hear the sound of his second Manhattanville goal.
Yes.
The ping goal. I mean, it's a different sound.
That was short-handed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, best shot in the league, best goal scorer in the league, maybe going to be the best goal scorer in EHL history. I don't know.
Right.
What he's doing right now is ridiculous.
It's probably one of the best shots we've ever had in this league. So, and we will say this too. While the graphic will go up and it will have Ville's face, and that's probably going to be a couple times here. We have Stars of the Month coming here soon as well, and everyone knows where we're going with that one. There's other great shots that we will recognize too, and some of these attributes we'll mention other players that are equally deserving, but we want to make sure we recognize every team as well. While Ville may have the number 1 shot in the league, there are other players that have a great shot as well. Brett Linker from the Pennsylvania Huntsmen. I mean, I could picture his shootout goal against the Rough Riders to get them their first victory. He can shoot the puck just as well.
Ivan Kulagin, his one-timer in the Frozen Finals last year. I remember even Mulholland has that nifty little wrist shot that he uses. I mean, there's some guys who could rip it in this league, I'd say.
Yeah. But we lead off with the first of 15, and that's Ville Bowden's shot, the mid-season favorite for MVP.
Okay, I jump now.
Whatever you want to go with.
Okay, I'm going. Listen, I'm a personality guy. So we're going with a guy with aura. We're using aura for this one. Charm, personality, charisma, whatever you want to call it. It's important when you're building the perfect athlete to have that presence. Nicholas Malley from the New Jersey Bears is my pick here for aura. I think obviously great personality, great defenseman. I mean, he's got 18 points on the year. I mean, he's definitely a guy who we want all his on ice attributes as well. But when I think of leading the charge in the personality department, whether it's like dry sense of humor, good attitude in the locker room, like I think I want Nicholas Malley's personality in my.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great way to put it too with the locker room part. He was injured. He couldn't compete in the college series, and he still came anyways, right? To be a part of it with the group. And when the team went off to warm up or get on the ice or whatnot, he didn't kind of like sulk in the corner or go be on his own. Like he was with the staff the whole time. So it was like you couldn't separate him despite every part of him that could have, just stayed home or been disappointed by the whole thing.
Yeah, he was on the bench when they were doing their skate in the morning that day. Like he was a part of it. He was a part of that team.
Yeah. So then when we took the team picture, he was like, "I get to sit next to you." I was like, "You get to sit next to me." He's like, "Okay, cool."
That's what I'm talking about. That's the aura.
Yes, that is the aura. That's 2 down. I'll go next, Jake, with probably one of my favorite players throughout my 11 years in this league. I'm a big toughness guy. When you break your leg and you come back and you score on your first game back, like it just like that gives you chills, man. And like this guy just committed to Castleton from a team that's leading the league in points right now, and that's Austin Haldane, a captain, a 2-year guy. I mean, you could say leadership, you could say compete, all the above, but just the toughness and like being not the biggest guy myself, like he doesn't back down from anything.
No, he's a dog. He's a dog. When we were first discussing this, I was like, Austin, the dog in Austin Haldane, and you were like, toughness. I was like, that's a more succinct way to phrase it. But I mean, when you just look at like guy who wears his heart on his sleeve, he leads by example for that team. A 2-year guy, both years was an all-star. What he battled through last year to like be back way ahead of schedule and then be his team's best player in 5 playoff games, like it speaks volumes about like what Castleton is getting and what HCRI has right now going into what's going to be hopefully a good playoff run.
Yeah, and like he's not leading the team in scoring right now, but he's still their leader, right? He just does all the things that you need from a leader. Like he doesn't need to score the goal or have the assist, but he'll go get that puck in the corner.
He's very much a Bo Horvat. He's a Bo Horvat, Speaking of great hockey players.
If there was a drinking game for this podcast, it's every time there's an Islanders reference.
Oh, man.
That's 2
Buckle
so far.
I'm kidding.
All right, you go next.
I got the Avs roster pulled up here, and it's like I could go down the line of all these players and think of a trait, obviously, with how skilled this team is. That Petey Silverman's speed, obviously. Alicia, another guy who's got that dog in him. Carfora, the puck distribution. Starella's finish, leading goal scorer for the Avs. But I'll take a little bit of a scroll here to the number 12 spot in points because for the New Hampshire Avalanche, I'm picking IQ. And I don't think there's a better decision maker in the league on the back end than Ethan Audie. Guy who played some premier games his first year in the league and has become a captain for that team, an all-star, and probably was the best defenseman on that all-star team for us. Played great alongside Ravakovic, another guy that could have been picked for something here. But Audie, I mean, he's got a great defensive stick. He breaks up plays perfectly. His outlet passes, he's a great first pass kind of guy. He could skate the puck when he wants to. I think if I'm looking for a guy who makes the right decisions out there and defends well at the same time, it's Ethan Audie.
Yeah. I mean, you just mentioned it. The outlet passes, some of those parts of the game that don't show up in the box score, right? But when they're clean and they're precise and they get the puck away from the dangerous areas, which is your own zone, right? It helps you win a lot of hockey games, and the Avalanche win a lot of hockey games.
They do.
Yeah.
Back-to-back Castleton.
That's good. I didn't even notice that until you just mentioned it. So, well, I'm trying to figure out which ones you want to mention, because I know there's a bunch that I think you need to have.
Just go be free, man.
No, like all of these, I'm like, Jake wants to say that one. Jake wants to say this one. Jake wants to say that one.
So, are you even going to be able to say any more of them?
I'm good, man. I'm good. It's just it's Monday of the holiday break. But I'll go Briggs Beam, his clutch factor, Connecticut Nor'easter. Obviously, a guy that came in later. He wasn't there when the season started, but when this team is winning, when they're scoring game winners, you're looking at the box score and it's Briggs Beam, and think no further than he had a recent hat trick with a game winner against Providence. So with this momentum that they have going for them right now, a big reason why is the clutch of Briggs Beam.
Yeah, I mean he's a good player. We debated whether we were going to use size for him, and then you came in with the clutch pick, which was great. I mean, 25% of his goals this year have been game winners. And when you look at the Nor'easter, right, they're picking it up right now, but they don't have a ton of wins. So over 25% of their wins can be credited to Briggs Beam game winners. So as they continue to pick it up, I don't see it as a coincidence that they have Briggs Beam on their team now, and things are starting to look brighter for them as they head into the new year.
For sure.
I will stick in the Central, and I mean, this is probably one of the ones you were like, he wants to pick this one. Scotty Moritz of the Providence Capitals. He's another guy who really stood out at the All-Star game. We're going to pick his defending. His straight-up defending, I think, is as good as anybody's in the league. He got a great defensive stick. He's high up on the blue line, stopping offense in its tracks, and I think that's what you look for in someone who he's got 16 assists this year, but like he still is one of those like quieter defensemen that if he doesn't have an assist or a goal in a game, like you can miss out what he does if you're not a keen eye. And like when you see what Scotty Moritz does, the little plays he makes, a la similar to an Ethan Audie. Just that simple defending, good defensive hockey, right? It's a reason why those guys looked their best against college programs.
Yeah, and it's not his long walks on the boardwalk; it's his defending.
Well, honestly, I didn't think about that until now. That actually might be a pick. He was maybe the best long walk on the boardwalk I ever had, overlooking the water, beautiful weather, two guys with wild wavy hair. Like it was scenic.
Well, for you, formerly wavy hair, now it's not as wavy.
Yeah, this is crazy. And we were across the sound in the distance with Long Island, New York.
There you go. I'll stick with college series players and Andrew Duval, who look no further than the college series. He plays with his heart on his sleeve also, right? I mean, the motor that he has when he's on the ice, it never stops, right? I mean, and this is not a guy who's, top 25 in the league in points, but he just keeps going and going and going. And he knows that even if his shift doesn't produce a point for his team, in that shift, he's wearing defenses down so that the next time that they're out there, maybe it's the other line, there's a break in the play that gives them a chance to score. So this is a guy that you need a player with heart like this, because ultimately it leads to more success for your team in the long run.
Yeah. He's a college player every day of the week, and I think he's really evolved his game from when he started in the Premier and was, he wasn't the skill guy, the goal scorer and stuff, and now he still has that element to him. I mean, he's on pace for his best EHL year, obviously, right now, points-wise, and they're picking up right now, which is a good thing and a good sign for the Valley Junior Warriors. But when you look at how much more he does, as the leader of the forecheck, the guy digging in the corners, blocking shots in the PK, like he evolved his game to make it more well-rounded and become, that guy that can, do everything right and wear the C. One of the best personalities, one of the best leaders in the league for sure.
Is that Bailey barking?
No, Bailey's not here. I'm in Jersey right now. His name's Brody. He's a good boy, but he gets
okay.
loud.
Bailey would have been another Islanders reference, so that's why I was.
Yeah, Josh, named after Josh Bailey, one of the all-time greats for the New York Islanders. I'm gonna cacaw for a little bit and go with the Seahawks Hockey Club. Excuse me if a white boy just needs to cacaw every once in a while. We're gonna go with Nicky DeGeorge's hands. There were some other guys for this category, but Nicky DeGeorge, the things he pulls off. The Michigan on the breakaway, obviously, is kind of what sealed it for me. That was really disgusting. He's got a P-shot goal on the year. He's just, his hands are just beautiful. The way he can change the angle on goaltenders to score. He distributes the puck really well. He's got 8 power play apples on the year. I think he helps drive the bus for the Seahawks. I mean, they're really well-rounded up top with those big three and Quinn, Agnew, and DeGeorge. I mean, you could have picked Agnew's passing easily on this team, and Quinn is just one of the more well-rounded players I think this league has to offer. But when you look at one skill on this roster, I think DeGeorge's hands stand out.
Yeah, for sure. I'll just wrap up the East so we're finished in that division, and so that I can go the opposite. When I mentioned Holiday and size earlier, on maybe the smaller end of the spectrum in our league, we go to the larger end with a Joey McManus who's 6'4" and all strength, right? Not saying that both players can't win, compete, and be successful, but you want a mix of both, right? And when it comes to McManus, I mean, 6'4", he takes up a lot of space out there. I'm fighting through this, Jake. But we saw him with the college series too. I mean, that's what's going to make him just a better college hockey player when all is said and done. Is he's going to fill a role on the back end and be like a pillar. I always think back to when my very first game I ever called, Jake. We're going to go story time right now. You're like, oh, back in the 1820s.
They were recording that game on old school film, actually.
It was Quinnipiac versus Nebraska Omaha, and Nebraska Omaha had these Megna brothers, Megna, who were like 6'7" and 6'8" each. And I just remember, there you go. I knew you would do that. Like towers on the back end, and McManus is like a tower on the back end for the Bandits, another one of their leaders, and he'll have to be like that down the stretch here for them to improve on their playoff position in Bridgewater.
Absolutely. Guy, good stick, eats shots, gets between the man and the net, and then he plays that simple hockey game that will serve him and the Bandits well, I think, down the stretch.
Yeah. Go in the South because there's so many guys in the South that I think you want to have.
I'm going to the South right now. I'm in Jersey. JB's going south. He's in the South right now. He's already made his first South trip. JB's going south again in January. I am spending a lot of time amongst these people, and one of the guys I will see is Tadeusz Bezdek of the Philadelphia Little Flyers. We're going to take his compete in goal. We got to include a goalie on here, and we'll pick Tadeusz, a 2-year guy, an all-star, probably the best all-star goalie we had for the main all-star team this year. And I mean, we see this theme, like it's some of the players we're picking are the better players from the All-Star College Series because we know they could do it at that level. Tad proved that over break, just broke a drought for him in the wins column, which is huge, made 32 saves in their final game of the midseason snowdown. So hopefully that's a sign of more things to come because he won 2 of his first 3 games and 3 of his first 5 games of the year. And since then, it's been a little bit rough sledding with, the lack of goal support that he's been getting. I mean, look at some of the save totals, 46, 52, 42, 46, 45. Like he battles in that. He gets that workload, amongst the highest in the EHL. And I mean, he proves that he's a competitor in goal every time.
For sure. I want to leave 2 of the other South guys because I think you want them to. They're
just
like your best friends. No. I'm going Apple Core because this player is from the state where I reside now, but playing in New York, right? And this is Gage Winter, and it's his finish, right? His goal scoring ability. We could have got a lot of ways here. Obviously, we mentioned Bowden and Sorella, you name it. But for Winter, when Applecore goes, it's because he's going, right? And his ability to put the puck in the net this season has really shined as he's obviously towards the very top of the league leaders in scoring. And 20 goals, like, I don't care who your opponents are or when in the season it is, like, you have to be able to score, right? If you're gonna have 20 goals, there's some skill that you possess that others don't, that allows you to be one of only 2 guys in the league that have already passed that threshold. So we're gonna go with Gage Winter's finish because, obvious statement, Jake, when you want to win hockey games, you have to put the puck in the net.
Yeah, and he's doing it. And he does it against the great teams too, right? Like what he just did against the Express. I mean, they should have got a point out of that, right? We talked about that on last week's podcast. Maybe just lacking that killer instinct. Definitely not because of Gage Winter. I'm looking at his. Like, we talk about shot. We're talking about Ville Bowden's like pure natural shot. When I talk about finish, like I think of like around the net, and I'm looking at on Instat here like Gage Winter's shot map. And the bulk of his goals are coming from below the hash marks. That's what I think of when I think of finish. And like when you have that natural goal scoring ability around the net, you have to have the time, you have to have the patience, you have to have the release, and he has all those things to be an elite finisher in this league around the net.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
So I will keep you, Jaden Jones is where I'm going right now.
That's why I left it. Like,
Philadelphia Hockey Club. What can you pick for Jaden Jones, right? There's a lot of options, right? There's the swag, right? He walks in, the shades on, the big brown overcoat, and you're like, all right, this is one of the league's top players. You don't even know anything about him. The staff at ISCC are probably like, this is one of the best players in the league without knowing a single thing about him. Yes. I have that bomb of a one-timer against the Seahawks Hockey Club, so maybe you're thinking it's his shot, right? But I'm going to go with his puck protection. Jaden Jones does not get knocked over. Jaden Jones has probably not lost a board battle since George W. Bush was president. So I think Jaden Jones is the guy I want along the wall, below the goal line, in front of the net to hold on to that puck. He's a power play menace out there. One of the more well-rounded players in the league, but I look at his puck protection as his best trait.
I love that. The build-up was great, too.
I had to do it for JJ. He's the man.
Yes. Almost finished here. We have 3 to go. So I'll take one of the 2 south that we have left. And it's for the Pennsylvania Huntsmen, and it's Will Saunders on the back end. Obviously, it's been a tough year for the Huntsmen, but for this All-Star, a 3-year guy in this league, his leadership can't go unnoticed, right? So if this player is wearing a C, there's obviously a number of leaders that we've mentioned, Austin Haldane, Ethan Audie, you name it. But this player is wearing a C, especially because of Will Saunders and what he provides to that Huntsman locker room.
Yeah, he's a great hockey player too. I mean, he defends hard, he leads by example on the ice as well. And I mean, he's been a loyal guy to the program, a loyal guy to the league, and I mean, that's arguably the most important trait in being a leader is sticking to it. And obviously, when your team's going through it, they're going to rely on their captain. And they've had some trends in the right direction here. They had a couple leads at the showcase, right? And it's like those are the kind of things you want to see. And I think Will Saunders will help lead them in the right direction in the new year as they hopefully pick up a couple more wins and finish on a brighter note. Yeah. It will likely come from, he's got 11 points from the back end on a team that doesn't score a ton. So, I mean, Will Saunders definitely is a guy that beats the drum for that team.
So 87s, Jake. I mean, this is your guy.
I was gonna leave it for you because you love him, you love him a lot too.
Okay, then you take the Wizards player.
Okay, we'll cap off with who we're talking about.
That's fine.
And we're gonna go with the fastest player in the EHL. I got a text during the Nichols game from the Nichols head coach about Adam Elgood as he was putting up 5 points on them. And it said, expletive, Elgood can move. It's like, yes, expletive, Elgood can move. I agree completely. Yeah, I mean, I think I was talking to McGrath, his old head coach, and Corey Felitti, his current head coach. They were describing him like a Rob Gronkowski, the way he can just drive wide on guys, go straight through guys. He is he's He's yoked. He's fast as hell, and like he's one of the better players in this league at driving play. But it is his skating that separates him from the pack in this league, literally and figuratively. So if I could pick anybody's boots in the league, it's 100% Adam Elgood.
Yeah, I mean, that cliche saying when you're recapping hockey games is the best player on the ice, and he was the best player on the ice in the Nichols game. Like, both teams combined. He was that good in that game, and probably a reason why we are kicking ourselves that we didn't win that game, right? Because of how good Elgood was. But
100%.
I could still picture him, with his speed driving in to score one of his 2 goals. And yeah, I mean, we'd be remiss to not include his speed on this team. And then we'll wrap it up, as Jake just teased, with the 87s. And it's Troy Mulholland, and it's not his highlight reel ability. Because we've covered that extensively on this podcast, but we'll call it his puck mobility, which of course highlights passing first and foremost. But I'm gonna double down and say some of his shots too, man. Just his mobility to put the puck in the net at the same time. We'll say.
Listen, in the modern age, defensemen are kind of expected to do it all. Troy's a great defender. But what stands out most about his game is he's a puck transporter, and you want your defensemen nowadays to be puck transporters. Whether that's, a good first outlet pass from a shutdown defenseman or a guy like Troy Mulholland who will skate it, draw a defenseman near him, and then make the pass. Or will just skate it himself, take it to the house, and roof the best goaltenders in the league upstairs, right? There's a million different options in Troy Mulholland's arsenal, but they all rely on his puck distribution and the decisions he makes with the puck. So whether it's, passing on the power play, where he's obviously a very dangerous player with 5 power play assists on the year, he distributes the puck well. Like you said, call it passing, call it puck transporting. Good things happen when the puck is on his stick, no matter what decision he makes.
I mean, Game 3 of the finals last year was epic, to say the least, right?
And he was an unknown then, right? He came in mid-season as an 18s player, didn't have a goal, I think, in the regular season, right? And he comes in as the unknown on the back end, right? On an elite New Jersey 87's physical, grinding back end as a 5'8", 5'9" mobile defenseman, and he makes as big an impact as any. And now he's, probably a top 5 defenseman in the league.
I would say so, right? I mean, every goal scored in that final game was pretty epic, to say the least. Starting
I still get secondhand nerves thinking about that game. That was brutal.
Yeah, starting with Starella's goal, the pass to the patience to getting around the goaltender to get the puck into the net. But then the 87s convert on 2 of the prettiest 2-on-1s or 3-on-1s we've ever seen, right? And the first one was Troy Mulholland, and you're like, who just tied the game? No
offense. He was a midseason guy.
And he was playing 18s for them, right? And
12 regular season games, no goals.
It's just we're all right, maybe we should keep an eye on this kid in the future. And he's proven to be that and then some this year for them.
Just a stud.
Absolute. And this 15 attribute player would be a stud.
Yeah, I think he'd probably lead the league in everything.
Pims too.
Yeah, you got Gage Winter and Ville Boden's goal scoring with Adam Elgood's speed. I think this guy is in the show, dude.
Well, what is, because you love NHL, the video game? Would he be a 99 overall for you?
Yeah, what's crazy, dude? I just played Xbox for the first time since September 8th, this break. It's the longest I've gone without playing box for.
When I think about it, it's probably, I get it now, because usually you send me your, is it Twitch?
Yeah.
What
Twitch.
do you stream on?
Twitch, yeah.
You'll always text me a link, watch me play NHL at the most random time when it's go to bed or watch Jake play NHL, and I always go to bed, right? I think I tuned in one time. Man. I think I tuned in one time for 5 minutes, and I was I'm kind of done with this.
Dude,
but you haven't done it this year.
Yeah, no, I'll stream tomorrow. I'll send it. send it to the group chat. Twitch.tv/bathtubjake. Be sure to follow, like, and subscribe.
Isn't the team then Long Island Lightning?
Long Island Lightning, baby. LIL Hockey, established
Yes.
in 2014.
You got to create this player.
Yes, yeah. My guy is just like I'm like my NHL build is like a Scotty Moritz, just
Okay.
a first pass shutdown defenseman.
Well, that does it for this week. Kind of unique around the EShow. I mentioned earlier before we record next week's podcast, games will be resuming, which means it's time to set your fantasy lineups for January. So with that, we'll jump to the EShow Fantasy Challenge.
Now it's time for the EShow Fantasy Challenge. Follow along on the EHL app.
So just to recap here, as we start off the Fantasy Challenge, we've obviously had 3 months so far, okay, with 3 champions that are all unique in their own sense, right? So October was when Madison won, one of our interns, right? November was when Justin Horatio won, who works for the Apple Corps. And then December was Victor Tichinoff, who we've believed to identify him as a fan of the Express.
Okay,
Right? You just go by...
good team to root for right now. Yeah.
Yes. So each person unique in their own sense there, but 3 tickets punch, 3 left to go, January, February, and March. And then, of course, when we combine the overall totals from October through March, we'll take the 2 highest point totals and call them at-large bids to join the 6 monthly champions in the round of champions. And we also got back-to-back months here with the Bazile finishing in the top 5. So how do you feel confident? Is he with you?
No, he couldn't make it to this year. Originally, like for Christmas, he could have, but he had he was calling the UML game yesterday.
Okay.
Pretty cool.
Do you have any suggestions for the people at home for January?
Well, right now I'm like dipping through sketchies right now, and like Avalanche play 9 games this month. So do the Apple Corps. So I think my forward is going to be Gage. Maybe my defenseman's William Auger from the Seahawks. Philly Hockey Club is a busy month, dude. Oh my god. Yo, I gotta pick a PHC guy. Oh my god, 10 games. My advice: pick a PHC guy. Yeah, that's my advice right now.
Okay, I don't want to give anything away because I feel I don't want to say I'm getting desperate here, but I feel a little anxious that I haven't won one of the months yet after having claimed a month each of the first 2 years of this version of the Fantasy Challenge. So I don't want to give it any secrets away, but as Jake is alluding to, he's going with the Jefferson Mills mentality.
Yeah, I think I got my team. I got Gage Winter, Hunter Lee from Long Island, and probably Ian Arnott in net.
Okay. But Jake's mentality that he's pushing here is the best chance to accumulate points is when they play games. So he's looking at teams that play the highest number of games.
Yeah, I mean, Avs at 9, Arnott's getting 4 or 5 of those. That's pretty good. PHC has 10 games this month, guys. Like, pick a forward or a D from PHC.
The deadline to sign up is this Saturday. So the games return on Saturday, January 3rd. It feels so weird that we're in January.
Yeah. And I have to do like real numbers this time instead of 67 and 69 for my tiebreaker things, because now I see that
I love how you didn't realize that the tiebreaker could actually be a factor.
Yeah. Listen, I'm a slow learner, but I get there. It's about the journey, not the destination.
The first game back is this Saturday, January 3rd, 12:30 p.m. Wizards and Warriors. There's also a Little Flyers and PHC matchup that night. The first 2 games back in the EHL. First game back in the EHLP features Dom, Jake's on a whim prediction to be an EHLP All-Star. And the
Who's to
Bears
say?
on Sunday night.
These
against
things
the
can be
Seals.
tricky to predict.
Yes, against the Seals at 6:30 p.m. So not a really busy first weekend back, I guess you could say, with just the 3 games. But then you click over to Wednesday, January 7th, and it begins, right? 3 games that day, 3 games the next day, the 8th, and we take off from there. So take the time this week, I think, to enjoy the final few days of break, ring in the new year, of course, Wednesday night into Thursday, but don't miss the deadline of Saturday at 12:30 when that puck drops on Wizards and Warriors to get your picks in. Reminder, because this question... Oh, no, you go. I'm sorry.
I was just saying, I'm doing my picks right now.
So he doesn't forget. Reminder for the people that have reached out, if you want to make a substitution in any month because of an injury or whatnot, you can do so at any moment. You could sub somebody out on, if the picks are due January 3rd, you could sub somebody out on January 4th, right? You could wait until January 30th if you wanted to. But when you sub somebody out, you're wiping out their point total and starting from 0 from that date moving forward.
Yeah, it took me a while to learn that rule, too. The first year of that, I was like, where did all my points from so-and-so go? And you were like, you lost them when you swapped players. That shouldn't happen.
You don't get to keep them.
I mean, he left us.
Well, like I said, picks are due Saturday, 12:30 p.m. and that puck drops for the Wizards and Warriors. So make sure to get them in then. And we'll wrap up this episode now with what to watch for.
And now here's what to watch for in the EHL and the EHLP.
So I'm not going to make you choose one of the 3 games this weekend, Jake, because then I'll pick another. We'll leave one game out. That won't be fair, right? But is there one, above all else, element that you're watching for as we turn over the calendar year from December or from 2025 into 2026?
Yeah, so let me pull, if I'm not mistaken.
Do you want me to go first? I can go first here.
No, I got my question ready to go. If PHC wins, they take the number 1 spot in the South.
Yeah, I believe.
Yes, that's what I'm watching for. And they would have a significant advantage in games played too with that. So
okay.
I think that's big to watch for. If you're the Bears in the 87s right now, you are putting on your Flyers jersey. So that's pretty important.
You went right away this weekend what to watch for. I was leaving it more open-ended. You could watch for anything past this weekend too.
Wow.
But I like what you did there because for Philly Hockey Club, they've probably felt like they've been the best team in the division. It just hasn't.
He's sitting in the number 3 spot.
It just doesn't show that way. I think Bart's texted me that once. He was like, "You should put me in first place in the standings." Like, I can't do that, Bart. It's like
just click the points percentage tab, Bart, and you're like, top 3 in the league, buddy.
Exactly. So Jake highlights this weekend. I highlight kind of as January returns. Just how far will this streak go for Rhode Island? And for those that want to hear the story, and we have a few minutes left, and I'll tell the story because I've had to tell it now to a few different Rhode Island coaches or fans or parents. Obviously, they have 18 straight wins, and that's 3rd all time for longest winning streaks in the history of the EHL. They have a chance to surpass that by beating the team that they are chasing, New York Apple, who had 20 straight wins a couple of seasons ago. The 30-game winning streak for the Little Flyers was early on in my time in the EHL, my second year.
Okay.
My first year was 2015-16.
For context, at this same time, Tesla was tapping into electricity. We were starting to make big developments there.
It's funny that you mentioned electricity because in the middle of this winning streak, for the Little Flyers, they are losing a game, and the power goes out. Transformer blows in a telephone pole right outside the rink because a car hit the telephone pole. Person was okay, just so everyone knows too. Side context. Literally though, they had no power. I remember FaceTiming Alo. He's like, "The lights are off. We can't do anything." And I was like, "Oh, I get it. You're gonna have to resume the game when your opponent comes to you next." By the time that happened, they had continued on their winning streak all the way to 30 games, had it end, and then ultimately lost that game that had started previously. But just like in the MLB, when a game gets rained out, whenever it finishes, it ends. The result is a part of the day it ends on. So does that mean
Yeah,
there should be
Coach
an
Bauer
asterisk?
doesn't love that.
No,
Yeah,
he
Coach
does not
Bauer-
love that.
I think it's the right play.
Yes, but he's asking those questions because while 12 more wins will not be easy to tie the record, 13 to pass it, he's already passed the halfway point to get there, right? And that includes, at this past showcase, victories over the Avalanche, Philly Hockey Club, a tough win over the Warriors. I'm not saying that I want the story to go away for the Little Flyers, but to not have to tell the story again.
Yeah,
13 more wins would be nice, but it's not going to be easy by any means for them.
No, it's yeah, I don't see it, but I've been proven wrong by them before.
This is true. You had said, I believe, Nor'easter.
I think January 15th, I think.
Yes.
Yep, that's my pick. Briggs Beam. Game winner.
Maybe it will be his clutch factor, right?
Yeah.
So, as I mentioned, though, a few games back this weekend, and then we get full systems go next week. So we'll come back with one more podcast before the rest of the league returns to action, not just the 6 teams this weekend. But that was a fun, unique episode for us. Obviously, we highlighted 15 players in particular, but wanted to make sure we touched on a ton more because we could probably do 4 or 5 different versions of the player.
Yeah, we can pick our second team right now, and it'd be just
Yes.
as nasty, probably.
It's just as nasty, right? So, showcasing just how much talent there really is in this league. So, enjoy the last few days of break. I'm going to try and kick this sickness or whatever the hell I have. And I hope your hair grows back. It fixes your haircut. I know it upsets you. That's why.
It's not as bad as I initially thought, though.
Okay.
But it's just short. It's just short. Like, if you look at me like head on, it's like, this guy doesn't have a mullet, and that's the worst thing anyone has ever said about me. I've had a mullet for years.
Fair point. Enjoy the last few days of break. We'll talk to you all, as the pun says, next year.
Oh, you are old.
Thanks for listening to the EShow, presented by the Hockey Podcast Network. Learn more about us at easternhockeyleague.org and follow us on all of your favorite social media platforms. Also, be sure to subscribe and get notified when our next podcast episode is released.